Good morning everyone and welcome to Lake Hume pre-dawn. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now I was going to say it's not long until sunrise, but looking at that cloud cover I'd say the sun's not going to rise. It's about 6:45 AM, it's before dawn I suppose you could say. There's a guy over here launching a boat now, about to head off on a fishing adventure. Lake Hume is an amazing redfin fishery. Although being in the middle of winter, I'm not expecting to catch too much. I'll be happy today. A really good result for me today will be 2 carp and 2 redfin, but I'll be happy with 2 redfin. I'll be happy with anything. I take what I can get in the winter. I'm going to be fishing 2 rods with worms. I better get my lines in. Righto, both lines are loaded, ready to go. One is a running sinker rig, the other is a paternoster rig, and they've both got 2 janjuck worms on them on each one. Now this time of the day, it's going to be a little bit sort of set and forget because I can't really see my rod tips, it's still so dark, so I'm going to put them in now. And unless I see the rods physically loading up under the weight of fish, I'll just leave them there, then I'll check them in about a quarter of an hour or as soon as it's light enough to see what I'm doing properly. I can hear a bugle. The Bandiana Army barracks are literally about 500 metres to my left. 7 AM, that must sound at 7 AM every morning, I'm guessing. Awesome. I have nothing but the utmost respect for our soldiers. Even anyone that signs up and is willing to serve and protect our country gets my full respect. I just had my first nibble. There it goes again. Got it. Yes. Not a very big fish, but I've got something. I'm guessing a small redfin. It is 7:20, so it's taken me about 20 minutes. It's very small, so I'm guessing it's a very small redfin. What did I say at the start? I'll be happy if I catch 2 carp and 2 redfin. Well, there's one of the redfin, and he's swallowed the hook. He's got that. No, I might be able to get that out. It's not down that deep, actually. Actually, what I might do is neck him anyway. It doesn't hurt to kill redfin if they swallow the hook. It doesn't hurt to kill them at the best of times. Some people choose to release them, and some people choose to put them to kill them. Some people choose to release them. There he is. He's got a bit of a sore on his neck there. I'll throw it out there and see if I can lure a water bird of some kind. Some people like to kill every redfin, which they're entitled to do because they're an introduced species, and some people like myself prefer to release them. We all have our own preferences, and one thing that I will never do on my channel is lecture anybody for doing what they choose. Anyway, there's one redfin on the board. Oh, there's a cormorant flying over already. I reckon something's going to snap up that redfin unless the breeze blows it back towards me. Put that straight back out with the same worm on it. I feel like I'm fishing in the Olympic Village here. I reckon I've had 4 different joggers go past just while I've been sitting here in the last 20 minutes. A popular jogging route. Getting a bite here on the paternoster rod now. That first redfin was caught on the running sinker rig, but I just had a really nice bite on the paternoster rig. This is good. It's only 7:25, and I'm already getting a couple of nibbles. Got it. Oh, I missed him. Oh, did I get him? Got a bit of weed. It's had a nice bite on the running sinker, but now it's snagged. Bugger it. Got it off without breaking the line. Thank God. That was a really nice bite, that. Here's a nice bite on the running sinker again. I only just put it back out. Here we go, he's biting it. Something's got that, something's playing with that. Missed it. I'll sit it back down. Yeah, it's back, it's back. It's back, come on. Give it a decent old yank. He's a big old whistling kite flying over. I wonder if he's eyeing off that fish that I put on the water before. I don't even know where it is. I haven't seen anything come down and grab it, so I'd say he is. Here comes a whistling kite. Look, he's going to get that redfin that I put on the water. He's circling. There's 2 of them there. Here he goes, he's getting lower. He's got to grab it. He got it. He's flying off with it and the seagulls are going nuts. I think he missed it. Must have dropped it. Here he goes again. He got it that time. I can see the fish, it's in his talons. The seagulls are going crazy because they didn't get it first. You're too slow, you silly bugger. Well, I'm glad that small redfin didn't die in vain. Loretta is going to be super annoyed that she wasn't here to photograph that bird. The whistling kites, they're quite a large bird. They're the ones that go... You hear them around a lot of waterways, a lot of lakes. There's a lot of them up here at Lake Hume. Here we go, getting a nibble on the paternoster rig again. Did I get it? Oh, wrapped around a reed again. I missed the fish, I think. Missed the fish, but got the weed. I just had a nibble. It's the first one for probably 35, 40 minutes. It's slowed. There it goes. That's not a nibble. Oh, did I? I've got it, but it's only a small fish. I'm hiding it up high to keep it out of the weed. That was a big bite for a small fish. I thought I missed it. So it's not fighting. Can you believe that? It's not fighting because it's a bit of weed. There it goes. Pull him down and got him. Got him that time. I probably look like I pulled the fish's head off, and that's because I've got so much slack out. It's not a big fish, but I reckon it's a small redfin wrapped in weed. Either that or it's just a bigger redfin than the last one. There is a fish on here this time. I can feel it pulling. If there's no weed on here, this might be a half decent redfin. It is a half decent redfin. Oh, make room in the esky. This one's coming home with me. You ripper. Oh, that has made my day. That is not a monster, but it's certainly big enough for me to get a couple of fillets off. You beauty. A couple of fresh worms on the hook, and it's time to put my line back in. When I got here, I said a good result today would be 2 redfin and 2 carp. Well, I've caught the 2 redfin. A better result would be 4 redfin, especially if a couple of them are that size. I went to the gym yesterday and the fitness coach asked me, so what kind of squat do you normally do? And I said, diddly squat. Got him. I've got one on my paternoster rig now. Doesn't feel as big as the one I just released. It's only a little one, I think, as I've just kept, I mean. And there we have it. Almost big enough to get a fillet off, but no, it's just a little bit too small for my liking. That's 3 on the board. Now that it's a bit lighter, I might get a little bit of underwater release footage if I can. Little redfin, see you later, mate. Righto, so that's 2 on the running sinker rig, 1 on the paternoster rig. The sun's starting to make its way through onto the hill over there, so the cloud must be breaking up a little bit. I'm having an absolute ripper of a morning, and it was well worth getting up at 5 AM for. I just had a really big bite on my running sinker rig. Might even still be there. I think he's on there. Oh, it is too. I'm holding it up high to keep it out of the reeds. Weeds, reeds, whatever you want to call them. Right. So this will be the third one on the running sinker. So 3 on the running sinker, 1 on the paternoster. And it's another redfin, another little one. And he's hooked a bit deeper. He's not as big as I'd like it to be, but I might be able to get on. I might be able to get that out. Look, I can't get it out, so I'm going to neck it. I mentioned earlier, I just sort of touched on it with redfin, and when you've got a lake like this, it is teeming with redfin. That one that I gutted before was full of eggs. A lot of those eggs will get eaten by other fish when they hatch. Some will get caught by anglers, some will get taken by birds, and 1 or 2 might make it to be big redfin. This lake is just littered with millions and millions of redfin, and killing them just thins them out and helps stimulate growth for other fish. But as I said earlier, some people prefer to release them, some people prefer to kill them, and I never judge anybody for what they do or never lecture anyone, because that's not in my nature. But what is in my nature is trying to lure those whistling kites back. Ugh. I'm going to get a seagulls instead by the looks of it. I said a good outcome would be 2 carp and 2 redfin. Well, I've got 4 redfin, that's an even better outcome, and one of them's in the esky. Righto. With regards to killing redfin, we can't catch all the redfin out of this lake. If we caught every redfin in this lake except a handful, then before long they'd be back. Their numbers seem to be more determined by environmental factors. Some years, for no reason, no one will catch any redfin. They'll just be really thin and they'll disappear. And then a couple of years later, they'll just be thick. Lake Buffalo, a couple of years ago, I couldn't catch a redfin up there. I told my dad that the cod must have eaten them all. This year, it's just been an absolute bonanza. And Dad, every time we catch a fish, Dad says, the cod must have eaten them all. It's just like a natural cycle. Some years they boom, some years they bust, and it's got nothing to do with how many we take out of the system. The most important thing with redfin is that we don't take them to another system where they don't exist, because once they're in there, we can't get them out. Hey magpie, do you want a worm? Magpie, do you want a worm? It's a good worm, it's a Jan Juck worm. Hey, look, magpie. There, look at that. Get it. He's going to get it. Well, I think you like that. Get right on the running sinker rig again, and have I got it? No. Just had a nibble on the running sinker rig. There it goes, and missed him. I don't know how I missed that. Such a good bite. I know I look like I'm ripping their heads off when I set the hook, but there is a reason for that, and that's because I've got so much line out. I've got to take up all that slack. I missed it. I was looking at my phone and I looked up and this rod was nearly getting pulled straight out of the rod holder. It snapped the line. It snapped the line. The rod holder, look at that, you can see that's been turned around there. That saved my rod. I missed it all. I didn't get any of it on film because I was looking at my phone. I looked up and that was bent over like that. That was bent, that was pulling forward. I'd say a big carp's grabbed that worm and just swam off with it. The old Simon Humphrey rod holder, you can find these guys on U-Butte rod holders on Instagram, just saved my fishing rod. Right, I've got a new running sinker rig and some fresh worms. I'll walk out here a bit to cast it just so that I can get that little bit of extra casting distance. I hope that comes back. I'd love to catch a fish now with that hook hanging out its mouth. Now I'm getting a nibble on the paternoster rig. Just one nibble, that's all it had. Come on, I've got to catch one more fish before I go home. There it goes. Got it. I was just about to sit down. I was already sitting down, but I was just about to sit right down and get comfortable. And he bit again. I'm guessing it's another small redfin. And I am guessing correctly, actually, he's small, but he might just be big enough to be a partner for the one that I kept earlier. I think I'll keep that one. He's not a big fish, but I'll be able to get a couple of small fillets off that to complement the other one that I caught. Ripper. 5 redfin, including 2 that I was able to keep for a small feed. I'm very happy with that. That's a very good result considering it's winter. I've had a fantastic morning. The fishing hasn't been red hot. In fact, it hasn't even been hot. It's been slow and steady and a lot of fun.